Welcome learners. So we are dealing with the derived set, some properties of the derived set. In the previous video, we have seen these three properties. We proved the first one, that is, if A is a subset of B, then the derived set of A is a subset of derived set of B. And then we listed these two. So today we will prove these two statements, and again one more theorem or result we will prove. So let's go for the second one. The second one says derived set of to prove that derived set of A union B is equals to derived set of A union derived set of B. This is what we want to prove. So again, as we know, these are the two sets. We have to show that both are equal. That means show that left hand side is a subset of right hand side and right hand side is a subset of left hand side, and you are done. And to show this, we can use our first property, that is, if A is a subset of B, then derived set of A is a subset of derived set of B. So how to use that? We need to show that derived set of A union B is a subset of derived set of A and derived set of B, and the ulta. Okay. Now one thing is A is a subset of A union B. This fact you know. This implies derived set of A is a subset of derived set of A union B. The first part. Let us take this as equation 1. Okay, or say I or E. Let us take E. And again we also know that B is a subset of A union B, and this implies derived set of B is a subset of derived set of A union B, right? So let us take this as equation number B. So derived set of A is a subset of this, derived set of B is a subset of this. That means if you take the union of these two, still that will be a subset of this, and hence from A and B, derived set of A union derived set of B is a subset of derived set of A union B. That's the first part. Let us take this as star. So one thing we achieved that our right hand side is a subset of your left hand side. Now we have to show that left hand side is a subset of right hand side. So now, and to show that, let us take one point in your left hand side. So let X belongs to derived set of A union B. Okay, we have to show that derived set of this X belongs to derived set of A union derived set of B, and when this X will belongs to the union of A, derived set of A and derived set of B, when it will be in one of them. So if X belongs to derived set of A, then we are done. We don't have to do anything. But if X does not belongs to derived set of A, we need to show that X belongs to derived set of B. Okay, so let us say that if X belongs, we can write that X belongs to derived set of B, then we are done. So let me write. If X belongs to derived set of A, then we are done, because X will belong to your right hand side and we are done. So assume X does not belong to derived set of A. We need to show that this X belongs to derived set of B. This is what you have to show. Okay, now we know the definitions when X will belong to derived set of A. When every neighborhood of X will contain a point of B other than X. Okay, so same definition we have to use. Now since X belongs to derived set of A union B, that is our hypothesis. Since X belongs to derived set of A union B, this implies every neighborhood of X intersects intersects A union B at a point other than x. This is by definition. We have this x belongs to derived set of A, that means x is a limit point of A union B, and that means every neighborhood of x intersects A union B at a point other than x, or it contains a point of A union B other than x. Okay, now since x does not belongs to derived set of A, this is what we have assumed, x does not belongs to derived set of A. This implies x is not a limit point of A. And since x is not a limit point of A, that implies there is a neighborhood of x that will not contain a point of A other than x. Okay, that is a negation of the definition of when we say x is a limit point of A. Okay, so this implies there exists neighborhood. Let us take say u naught, u suffix naught of x, such that it will not contain a point of A. So u naught intersection A, and from this we will remove this x. This will be empty. Note this equation. We will use this equation in the coming time. Okay. So u naught is a neighborhood of x that will not contain a point of E. We have to show that this x is in the derived set of B. That means we have to show that x is a limit point of B. So let us take a neighborhood of x. So now let V be a neighborhood of x. Let us take a neighborhood of x. We will show that this V will contain a point of B other than x. That means x belongs to derived set of B, and we are done. Okay. So V is the neighborhood of x, and also we know that u naught is the neighborhood of x. This implies u naught intersection V is neighborhood of x. Because u naught and V both are neighborhood of x, that means both are open, and intersection of two open set is open and both contains x, that means u naught intersection V is a neighborhood of x. Okay, now since we know that this x belongs to derived set of A union B, and u naught intersection V is a neighborhood of x, implies we have this neighborhood, that is u naught intersection V. When you take the intersection of this with A union B, and if you remove that point x, we will have a non-empty intersection, because x is the limit point of A union B and u naught intersection V is a neighborhood of x. So it will contain a point of A union B other than x. So this is what we will get through the definition. Okay, what does this mean? This implies u naught, no, this is not, yeah, u naught intersection A, we will rectify if it is required, not E, it should be V. U naught intersection V contains a point from this only, contains, or definition of a limit point, contains a point of A union B other than it contains a point of this A union B other than x, because when you remove this x, still the intersection is non-empty. But we know that u naught does not contain any point of A other than x. This is the fact what we know. Let me show you back. u0 does not contain a point of a other than x, right? This implies what? This implies u0 does not contain. So obviously when you take the intersection of u0 and v, it will not contain a point of a. So u0 intersection v does not contain any point of a, other than x. Okay, now what we said, u0 intersection v contains a point of a union b other than x, but we know that u0 intersection v does not contain a point of a other than x. So obviously it will contain a point of b other than x, right? And hence, that is right, hence u0 intersection v contains a point of b other than x, right? Explanation just we said, but we have look at, right? And this implies if u0 intersection v contains a point of b other than x, so obviously this is a subset of v, right? So v will contain, and then this implies v contains a point into this of b, please excuse some issue. Yeah, v contains a point of b, yeah, correct, it will work now, other than, and if v contains a point of b other than x, this implies, and what was v? We took that v as some neighborhood of x, okay, arbitrary neighborhood of x, and we proved that arbitrary neighborhood contains a point of b other than x. This implies this x will belongs to derived set of b, and this implies x belongs to derived set of a union derived set of b. Let us take this as equation number double star. And what equation we have taken for first? Star. So from star and double star, okay, let us put that first here, and then we will take double star. This implies we have taken a point from derived set of a union b, and that belongs to this, so that implies it is a subset of derived set of a union derived set of b. And let us take this as equation number double star. From star and double star, we will have derived set of a union b equals to derived set of a union derived set of b. This you can check. You can get some, you take an example of a topological space. You take two subsets, find their derived sets and take the union, and then find the derived set. It will be same here. But that is not the case when you take the intersection. That is our third property. This is done. This we are done with the second. And the third property says derived set of a intersection b contains inside derived set of a intersection derived set of b. The equality need not hold. That means we can have a topological space wherein this cannot be cannot be a subset of this. Okay. Again, as I said, or as I mentioned in the previous video, we can find a topological space, or you can construct a topological space. You take two subsets a and b of that topological space, and such a way that this is a proper subset of this. This is equals to this, and this is not a subset of this. Okay, but let us prove this third point in very short. We can use the point 1 for proving this. So let us take 3, and 3 says we have to show that derived set of A intersection B is a subset of derived set of A intersection with derived set of B. And for this, it's very straightforward. We can use first one. Since A intersection B is a subset of A, because it will contain a point of A as well as B which are common, so obviously it will be a subset of A, implies derived set of A intersection B is a subset of derived set of A. Okay, also same thing we can do for A intersection B subset of B. This implies derived set of A intersection B is a subset of derived set of B. This is by point 1, and from this two, this set is a subset of this, same set is a subset of other one. So when you take the intersection, it will be a subset, and this implies derived set of A intersection B is a subset of derived set of A intersection with derived set of B. Okay. As I said, you can find out the examples wherein this equality will hold and when the equality will not hold. Alright, now let us go for the next theorem of this video, and then we will see the other results. So theorem, this thing also can be used as a definition sometimes. So let X be a topological space. Let us take a topological space. Topological space, and let us take a subset A of X. Now there is a relation between the closure of A and the derived set of A, and that gives as closure of A, of course, in X is same as A. You take all the points of A and you take all the points in derived set of A. That means A along with set of all the limit points of A gives you the closure of A. And of course is a notation that is we write suffix X to denote that we are taking the closure in the topological space X. Okay, now we have to prove this. Again, we know that both are the subsets, both are the sets. We have to show that both sets are same. That means show that the closure of A is a subset of your identity set, that is A union derived set of A, and show that A union derived set of A is a subset of closure of A. And from both the ways you will come up with this equality. Alright, so let's go for the proof of this. In short, one way is very simple. We know that when we check the definition of the closure of A, we know that A is a subset of closure of A. Okay, that's how we define a closure of A. Closure of A is nothing but the intersection of all those closed sets which contains A. So obviously A will be in the closure of A. That's the fact. This fact we already proved it earlier. Now we have to show that this also is a subset of closure of A. We need to show that derived set of A is also a subset of closure of A. That means the union of these two will be a subset of closure of A, and we are done with one set. Okay, now let X belongs to derived set of A. We need to show that this X belongs to closure of A, and we are done. And to this we will just use the definitions. Okay, so this X belongs to derived set of A implies every neighborhood of X contains a point of A other than X. This definition we know, right? X is the limit point of A. But we already proved one statement wherein we state that X belongs to closure of A if and only if every neighborhood of A intersects every neighborhood of X intersects A. It may be the intersection may be the simple point X, Okay, that is the difference between derived set of A and the closure of A. For derived set of A, we say that every neighborhood of X contains a point of A other than X. Okay, and for closure of A, it need not be other than X. The only thing is, if you take a neighborhood, it should intersect A. Some authors also use this as a definition of to define a closure of A. Okay, so this implies every neighborhood of X contains a point of A other than X, and of course this will imply may not be other than X, and for that let us take this implies every neighborhood of X contains a point of A need not be other than X, it may be also equals to X, and this implies X belongs to closure of A in X. We have taken a point in derived set of A and we proved that this X is also in a closure of A. This implies derived set of A, of course, in X is a subset of closure of A in X. So from 1 to whatever equations numbers we have given, this implies A union derived set of A in X is a subset of closure of A in X. Okay, one way. Now conversely, we need to show that closure of A is a subset of A union derived set of A. Okay, now if as we have seen in the last example, if that let us take a point first. So let us take some y. That y belongs to closure of A in X. Okay, now if this y belongs to A, then we are done. If not, we have to show that this y belongs to derived set of A. So let us directly write here and let y does not belongs to A, because if y belongs to A, then we are done. So we will assume that this y, okay, so we will assume that this y does not belong to A. We have to show that this y belongs to derived set of A in X. Okay, now since this y belongs to closure of A in X, implies by definition or whatever there are results we have proved, every neighborhood of y implies every neighborhood of y contains a point of A, right? Maybe equals to y, may not be equals to y, we don't know. But we state that this y does not belong to A, right? And this y does not belong to A. That implies every neighborhood of y contains a point of A other than y, right? This implies every neighborhood of y intersects A at a point other than y. And by the definition of the derived limit point, this implies y belongs to derived set of A. Okay, so we have taken this y belongs to closure of A, and we proved that this y belongs to derived set of A, and this implies this y belongs to A union derived set of A in X. This implies we have taken a point in closure of A. So closure of A is a subset of A union derived set of A. So whatever equation number we have given, we have proved that both are subsets. So hence closure of A is equals to A union derived set of A. And this is what we wanted to prove. Yeah, X be a topological space, A is subset of X, then closure of A is equals to A union derived set of A, and this is what we have proved. And with this, we have completed this theorem as well. Okay. Now, in the next video, we will see what are the T1 space, T2 space. T2 space is also called as a Hausdorff space. And you will see some examples also wherein what are the implications, where whether every T1 space is a T2 space or every T2 space is a T1 space. Also, if time permits, we will go for T3 and T4 as well. Okay, so see you in the next video. Till then, stay tuned.